Okay, everyone. So this is the second half of the same paper I was discussing earlier, and that was June 2021 and variant 1.3. I discussed first 15 questions in previous video, and you can see those video that video and those questions. And now I'm going to explain next 15 questions in this video. So starting from question number 16 says, the diagram represents the original demand curve D1 and original supply curve S1. And for electric cars, this is a graph for electric cars. The government decides to provide a subsidy to electric car manufacturers, then definitely supply will shift to the right from S1 to S2, and new equilibrium quantity will be now Y. And the price producers will receive is calculated with this perpendicular. This is the perpendicular quantity will be Y, and price the producers will receive is E. Okay, so which area represents the total revenue of the car manufacturers after receiving the subsidy from the government? So total revenue is basically price multiplied by quantity. So in this case, price is OE and quantity is OY. If we multiply this, then we will find this entire basically box. So that is OERY. So OERY is the total revenue that will be received by the producer. Okay, so now moving to question number 17, a government decides to build additional public sector housing to be rented to the people receiving low income. Okay, so what is most likely to fall as a result of this increase in public sector housing? Okay, so if government is increasing housing facility, then what will happen is now rents of houses in private sector will decrease. Okay, so there will be a decrease in basically what will fall. Examiner are asking about what will fall. So option C is correct answer, because now competition will increase. Government is also providing housing facilities. So private demand for private houses will decrease. As a result, their prices will fall. You can see it with the graph. This is demand for private houses, supply of private houses, equilibrium price is this, and quantity is this. Now, since government is providing also housing facilities, then definitely demand for private houses will fall, and as a result, equilibrium will move to from E1 to E, then price will fall to P1, and quantity will decrease to Q1. So this is decrease in house prices, rent for private houses. Okay, so now moving to the next question, question number 18, and question number 18 says the government spending for a year includes these items. These are multiple expenditure by the government. What is the total transfer payment? Transfer payments are the payments of government that government makes without taking any kind of good or service. Like pension is basically the transfer payment, so 200. Welfare payments, it is again transfer payment, so 200 plus 200 is equal to 400. Spending on hospital is not a transfer payment, and payment to unemployed workers is again transfer payment. Defense is not transfer payment. Teacher salaries are not transfer payment. So we will add these three figures: 200 plus 200, 400, and number one, 100, 500. So B will be the correct answer. What will be certain to cause a fall in country's cost of living? So cost of living basically include multiple costs that are relevant to accommodation, housing, food, and etc. So if there is negative inflation rate, that negative inflation rate means the price level is falling, or it is also known as deflation. In case of deflation, goods are now cheaper and cost of living will decrease. Moving to question number 20, what is not an aim of protectionism? Protectionism is basically tariff, quota, and embargo that are imposed to reduce the volume of imports coming into the country. Okay, so what is not protectionism? So B is correct answer, to increase prices of export. This is never the aim of protectionism. Rather, the aim of protectionism is to basically reduce the quantity of imported goods coming into the country. And I told you what are the part of these policies. Question number 21 says a country with a fixed exchange rate system experiences a higher rate of inflation than its trading partner country. Okay, so what is the likely effect on the country's volume of exports and imports? Okay, so what will happen is export volume of exports will fall because inflation is increasing, mean exports are now expensive, and imports will increase, right? When exports are expensive means exports volume will decrease, and now people will import more goods from other countries because of lower local inflation. Goods within the country will be now expensive, so imports will rise. So option B is correct answer. Question number 22 says a sudden rise in the price of imported oil caused an annual rate of inflation in a given period to be higher than expected. What will be a likely result of this? So what will happen because of this? So A is correct answer. Borrowers would gain. Whenever there is inflation, the persons who have borrowed money in the past, they will be benefited because they got money with higher purchasing power and they are paying back with lower purchasing power because of inflation. Whenever there is inflation, purchasing power decreases, and decrease in purchasing power benefits the borrowers because they got money with greater worth, they are paying back with lesser worth. 23 says what may increase the benefits a country gains from international trade. So what benefits can be obtained by the country? So A is correct answer, reduction in transportation costs because of a fall in world oil prices. So this is the benefit that will be obtained from international trade and will increase profit. Okay, so exporting goods, sending goods to other countries will be now cheaper. Okay, so the next question is question number 24. The world trade price of cars in country Y is 10,000 US dollars. At this price, domestic car producers supplied 100,000 cars to the market and domestic consumers consume 200,000 cars. The government of country Y imposes 10% tariff on imported cars. Under which condition will this tariff raise most revenue for the government? So whenever government imposes tariff, government aims to increase tax revenue from imports. So it will be basically beneficial. Imposing tariff will be beneficial if price elasticity of supply is inelastic and price elasticity of demand is also inelastic. So option A will be the correct answer for this question. If price elasticity of supply is inelastic, it means supplier will not be able to supply more if there is rise in demand for locally produced goods, locally produced cars here. So inelastic supply means supplier cannot increase supply substantially. So it means people will be still relying on more imported cars. Price elasticity of demand for cars in country Y, it should also be inelastic. If demand is inelastic, it means people will still keep buying goods from other countries. So if they keep buying cars from other countries, definitely they will have to pay tariff, and this will result in government tariff revenue, tax revenue. Question 25, a country has a balance of trade deficit. Deficit mean the import payments are more than export earnings. And overall money coming into the country is less than money leaving the country due to many reasons, maybe import of goods and services, export of goods and services, and transfer payments or income flows. So when will this be least likely to improve as a result of depreciation of currency? Okay, so if we depreciate currency, generally what we want to remove the deficit or reduce the deficit, and we have to find out the policy, the point where there will be a least benefit of depreciating the currency. Okay, so the answer is B, if the sum of price elasticities of demand for exports and imports is less than 1. And this is known as Marshall-Lerner condition. Marshall-Lerner condition. And as per Marshall-Lerner condition, if we add price elasticity of demand for exports and imports, price elasticity of demand for exports plus price elasticity of demand for imports. If the sum of these two is less than 1, it means still the situation is inelastic. Price elasticity of demand will be inelastic. And in case of inelastic demand, depreciation results in further deterioration or deficit in balance of payment. So 25B is correct answer. Which statement about trade protection is correct? Trade protection basically includes all those policies that include tariff, quota, and embargo, and these policies are used to reduce the volume of imports coming into the country. So D is the correct answer. Quotas are less likely than tariff to raise revenue, because quota is the limit, physical limit that is on quantity of imports, and tariff is a tax. Tax is a form of government revenue. So quota is less effective than tariff, means tariff is more effective than quota to raise tax revenue. So this will be the correct answer. Which type of policy would have the most immediate effect in dealing with a deflationary economic downturn? Okay. Like downturn is basically when there is decline in aggregate demand in the economy, decline in basically economic activity, fall in investment, increase in unemployment, decrease in employment, etc. So option B is correct answer. Increasing borrowing by assisting banks to lend money. This is most immediate effect because now investors will invest more and consumers will consume more, and as a result, we will be able to deal with the economic downturn. Mean we will stop recession in the country. 28 says which combination identifies the main aim of supply side policy and a measure used to achieve this target. Okay, so the main aim of like every economic policy is all of these are the aims, like economic growth, employment, full employment. Income equality is not always the aim. Price stability, like controlling inflation, is also the aim. Policy measure is like deregulation of monopoly. The deregulation is basically the deregulation of monopoly, and this is supply side policy. So option A is correct answer. Moving to the other options, increasing money supply. This is monetary policy, not supply side policy. Progressive taxation is fiscal policy. Interest rate is monetary policy. So you have to find out and identify supply side policy. So deregulation is supply side policy. Now moving to question number 29. Deflation is associated with persistent falling price level. Deflation is when general price level keeps falling, and definitely it is one of the aim of the government economic policy. And which government policy would most likely effective to prevent deflation? Mean we want to stop deflation and we want further falling, stop further falling price level. So what we can do for this is removing economic uncertainty and encouraging business investment. When we remove uncertainty and encourage investment, then definitely investors will invest more money, and as a result, aggregate demand in the economy will rise, and we will prevent deflation, like prices will stop further falling. So this is aggregate demand, this is aggregate supply, this is initial price level, and this is initial real GDP. If there is encouragement of investment, then aggregate demand will rise, activity will increase. As a result, aggregate demand will shift to the right and price will further rise. And if price rises, we can stop deflation. All other options will result in deflation, further deflation, and they will not stop further they will not prevent deflation. Because in option A, so option D is correct answer. We can evaluate other options as well. Imposing maximum price level for food stuff. If we impose maximum price is set below equilibrium, like this. This is equilibrium price, maximum price. This is equilibrium price P, and maximum price is PX. So PX is already below equilibrium price. It means if we set maximum price, it will further increase deflation rather preventing it. Improving consumer confidence by reducing sales tax. Okay, in option B, improving consumer confidence and reducing sales tax. If we reduce sales tax, then supply will rise, aggregate supply will further rise. And if initial equilibrium price level is P and aggregate supply increases due to reduction in sales tax, then price will further fall. If price is further falling, we cannot prevent deflation. Increasing income tax rate and increasing government borrowings. So this, what will happen is basically if you increase government tax, then it means increase income tax, it means aggregate demand will further fall, and if aggregate demand further falls, there are chances price level will fall. So option D is correct answer because it is increasing price and we want price to increase to prevent deflation in the economy. So the last question of this paper is, the diagram shows inflation rates over 10 years. So these are 10 years time period. Emerging economies. Government central bank set target minimum inflation rate before readjusting interest rates to stabilize the economy. If the minimum inflation rate target set by central bank is 4%, so this is 4% per year, at which point would they allow interest rate to fall? Interest rate to fall. Okay, so whenever there is fall in interest rate, definitely it increases aggregate demand and it increases price level. Okay, so when it will happen, because we want this is our target, we want to stay near to this point. Okay, so from Y to Z is the time when we decrease interest rate and it will increase aggregate demand in the economy. So as a result, price will rise and it may touch this targeted period. Okay, so option Y to Z is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. So this is it. This was a complete exam paper. I discussed first 15 questions in the previous video and 15 questions in this video. So I believe you will benefit from these questions, and these questions will clear a lot of your concepts. If you have any issue, you want to clarify anything further, you may write in the chat and in the comment box. I will try to get back to you as soon as possible. Furthermore, do not forget to note the dates of grand classes that are going to be conducted very soon in Islamabad, face to face and online as well. So you can join these classes if you live anywhere in the world and you are interested to join these classes. Furthermore, I would suggest to use this book. This is a really important book, and this contains a lot of MCQs topically arranged, and every question has been explained why what will be the answer for certain question. So this is it. So see you with the next video soon. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.